Hello, everybody. Spencer Duby here on the Berg. Got a very special guest. I've been looking forward to this interview. Glen Bacarro. He is joining me from the Rum Runners Tour. He's actually the owner. Him and his wife, he was telling me. This tour is something spectacular. He was telling me that they are sold out the June show, and they only have one ticket left for the May show. So maybe you'll be the one to get it. Glen, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much, Spencer, for having me here today. This is fantastic. I'm so excited to be here.
Honestly, no problem at all. This is something that I love, right up my alley. I guess we should start from the beginning. When did you get involved with this Rum Runners? How long have you owned it for?
Well, my wife and I took over the business in addition to a business partner. So there's three of us that are co-owners. We bought it 3 years ago. Previous owner knew me from like maybe 15 years ago because my wife and I used to do swing dancing. So he had hired us to actually do some Charleston stuff for one of his rum running productions. And so when he retired, he's a gentleman by the name of Mark Baker. He retired, moved to Mexico. He was looking for somebody to take it over, and he thought of us. And well, one thing led to another, and here we are. Now, my wife and I, my business partner, own like Encore Productions of Windsor is the official title of our production company, and we run and operate the Rum Runners Tour.
I love it. So, like, big gangster fan, the movies?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Like, I'm a big fan of Windsor, let's be honest. And I just love the history in this place. And when we decided to take on the Rum Runners Tour, I mean, like, it's such a rich history. Al Capone used to be here all the time. Members of the Purple Gang used to be here all the time. And you just think, like, straight up, I spent 20 years of my life wanting to get out of Windsor, right? And like, I just wanted to leave. And it wasn't until I started meeting people that were not from here that started telling about how amazing and how special they found this place that I started to take a deep dive and start looking at our history and like what we've accomplished in this area. And it's such a phenomenal place to have grown up in, and we need to take more pride in it. Like there's absolutely nowhere in Canada that can claim what we can claim. Like as the birth of pop radio, the birth of the automotive industry, the Rum Runners Tour, we were a beacon for the Underground Railroad. Like we have a rich military history here, and I love all that fascinating history stuff, and it gave me much more of a sense of pride of where I come from. And now, like, I spent all that time wanting to get away, and now I just want to promote the heck out of this place, and the Rum Runners Tours is one of the ways that we can do it.
Look at the knowledge on you. I think the University of Windsor needs to get in touch with you, maybe teach a class there.
I love it, and it's funny when you talk to people. Sometimes they have a low self-esteem about Windsor, but I think it's a lack of knowledge about, like, you should really be proud of this place. Like, we've accomplished so much, and we've played a massive part in world history, and a lot of people just don't realize or understand that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm happy to bring the Rum Runners Tour alive and Prohibition and talk about Al Capone and gangsters and how we used to get that booze across the border.
Kind of take it for granted, this area, Windsor,
for
whatnot. Sure. But I used to be the same way. But as I've gotten older, I do really appreciate all of Windsor, Essex County.
Nice.
Same thing as you. It's a great place. It's a beautiful place, and it's home. It's where I know, right? Yeah. And the history part of it is so spectacular. Not even just Windsor, Amherstburg, LaSalle,
all of it. Yeah,
all of it. Literally Harrow, all of it. So this is a very historical place and a great place. But talking about, gangsters, rum running, it's something that I don't know. I'm going to try and say this without sounding like I root for the bad guys in the movies. I just love, watching a gangster movie and think it's very fascinating. The whole... Yep. You sign your name in blood with the Italian mafia, like you burn a Catholic card of usually a saint, right? After doing that while reciting lines, what the boss is saying, right? So it's very, very fascinating. It's something that I've been into ever since I was young. And to have a tour like this, which I didn't even know about, this is phenomenal, right? Yeah. You must get people all over southwestern Ontario, maybe even further, that come for this.
Well, I'm proud to say that we've had people from Paris, from Texas, from Northumberland, from Quebec, from Ottawa, like worldwide. Like people from Italy have taken our tour. It's the thing is that people take the tour and then they end up taking it 2, 3, 4 times. They're like, my family's come into town, and I got to get them on this tour. I'm not really one to brag too much, but we have over 300 TripAdvisor reviews, like 95% 5-star for outstanding quality and customer satisfaction. And I can talk to you till I'm blue in the face about what it is, but unless you experience it, you're not really going to get it. We are the largest production bus touring company in all of North America. I've looked at it. I've researched. There's nothing like what we do. in the course of our tour, which is a 4-hour event. So 2 hours.
Unbelievable.
2 hours you're on a bus. We'll take you some historical locations like Mackenzie Hall, Bedford United Church, and then we end up at the Rockstar location where we have a reenacted speakeasy entertainment section. So there's a 3-piece jazz band there, lots of singing, entertainment, comedy. So you've got 3 stops, 11 performers, and a meal, all included in this 4-hour production. And I did this deep dive research looking at it. You'll see gangster tours like in the big cities like Chicago, New York, Atlantic City, even Vegas, but none of them have like a scale of 11 performers with a length of 4 hours, including a meal. Like I pride myself on, there's nothing like what we do. We're the only ones in North America that do the scale production of what we do. And I'm so proud of it.
You got to be proud of it, right?
Yeah.
Like ever since you and your wife took over,
it's
you've
amazing.
kept it going.
Yes.
I'm jumping all over here, but have you and your wife changed anything from the original owner, or did you kind of keep it the exact same?
We kind of updated a little bit. When we did take it over, it was a school bus that was being used for the tour portion. We've updated that. We go now with the luxury coach liner, which is fully air conditioned. So and there's little changes that we made here and there to kind of like modernize it. And we do have some plans to bring in some maybe technological aspects in the future. But for the main part, most of the cast that were with Mark Baker, the original owner, are still with us. Mm-hmm. They've been doing it, like some of them have been doing it 10, 12 years. They've been around. And that's another thing that I wanted to point out is I love my cast. It's not that they're just phenomenally talented people. They're all just really amazing people that we love working with. So I get excited working with them and talking about them and bringing history to life. And ultimately our goal is to, like, as Encore Productions of Windsor, is to provide paid opportunities for performers. So everybody that's on our tour gets paid. Wow. Like, so we pay all of our venues, we pay all of our performers, and that was something that Mark Baker had initialized. He's like, you know what, if people are going to use their talents to bring people here to this area, like, we're going to pay them. So all of our performers are paid, and that's a big sticking issue with us, like being able to pay our performers because they're super talented. And I will go on record as saying that Windsor has talent on par with Broadway. No lie. And
you are a huge advocate for Windsor. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
I think we need to learn how to like start collaborating more and like support each other more and like really start bragging about what we've accomplished and who we are and what talent we bring to the table. And if you read any national publication, Windsor, Ontario right now is at the forefront of the economic driving because we have the International Gordie Howe Bridge, the new hospital that's coming, like the battery plant, the Amazon, fulfillment center. Like, this is a hub. This is the hotspot of what's going on in Canada right now. And there's going to be a lot of people coming this way, and when the bridge opens up, there's going to be like a lot of publicity shown on our area. And I'm just like, yes, it's about time. Let's make something of Windsor and like just let's showcase our talent and what we can do here. And I mean, like, there's tons of films being made here, and it's a real exciting time. That's the way I choose to look at it. Like, there's a lot of uncertainty in the world, but it's an exciting time to be in Windsor if you get on board and you look into what's going on. So yeah, I get hyped. Sorry,
I love it. No, that's all right.
Really excited about this.
That is all right. I'm here for it. Glenn, we're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, I have so many more questions for you.
Right on.
I want to talk about character development and costumes. Are they based on real people? These characters. So we're just gonna take a quick break. All righty.
Sweet.
All righty, everybody. Be right back after this. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to this interview here on the Midday Music and More Show. I'm your host, Spencer Duby, joined by the Rum Runners Encore Productions owner, Glen Bacarro. We're having a great time talking all about this. This is something that's right up my alley. As I mentioned, if you're just tuning in, they only have one ticket left, I believe, for the May show. They're all sold out of the June show. It's a huge production. Glenn, thank you so much for coming in once again. And I love your passion and enthusiasm behind this. So when you come in here today, I got to tell this for everybody, you're dressed up to the nines. You're in full character, Tommy the Gun.
Yeah.
You even showed up with a Thompson submachine gun, which wonderful. First time anyone's ever brought anything like this in here. I'm all for it. I love it. I got to get me one of those just to have around here. But no, the man is in a nice black suit. I think he's got an overcoat on.
Yeah.
Yes, he does. Nice red shirt, black tie. He's dressed to the nines for this. The fedora as well. And he goes, I'm Tommy the Gun, and you've been shot. He said, open up this bag. He gave it to me. There's a shot glass in there. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. So are you... Are you the only one that really gets this into character with like dressing up like that, or is that everybody?
It's our entire cast. So here's an interesting story about how this began. Mark Baker, the original owner, went on a tour once, and he sat there as the bus tour guide came on and was like, if you look out the left side of the window, you'll see this building here, blah, 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 blah. And Mark came from a theater background, and he started thinking to himself, how cool would it be to have a character come on in costume, period costume, and then inhibit that character telling these stories. And that was the germ, the idea that set the Rum Runners Tour into motion. So all of our characters, when you meet them, like I'm the first guy that everybody meets. I get on as Tommy the Gun. I'm like, hey, how you doing, people? They call me Tommy the Gun. And welcome to Windsor for the Rum Runners Tour. We're going to go back about 100 years, learn about the history of prohibition in this area, and like, so they meet me, and then I kind of like set the tone for that. Yeah. And everybody that gets on, like whether it be a cop or whether it be another rum runner or whether it be a newsboy or a flapper girl, they're all in period costume and they all play the parts. So that's what makes us different. It's completely theatrical. It's immersive. And I was telling the story while we were offline. A lot of people get into character and dress up. So we have flapper girls. We get a bunch of gangsters with people, dressed up. And this one gentleman started walking towards me, and I could see that he had red on his shirt. And I'm looking at him, and as he got closer, he's like, yeah, I lost the battle in a gunfight. He had taken a white shirt and he had burned holes in it, and he had put like blood splatter marks on it. It was the best costume ever. He goes, I knew everybody else was going to be just as gangsters, so I wanted to come as the guy that got shot by the gangsters.
That's like an outside the box right there.
Yeah, it was
love
so great. And his wife's like, oh yeah, as soon as he knew he was coming on the Rum Runners Tour, he had this idea that he wanted to be different. So that's the kind of stuff, and that's kind of fun that we have. And all my cast members we have a great time with the audience, and that's what I think makes us stand out and like gets us repeat customers. We have one lady, her name is Ruth. She's been on the tour. It'll be her 8th time coming up. Wow. She's done 8 times. She's 94 years old. Yeah. She just loves it, and keeps coming back for more.
That's great. Yeah. See, it must be a really, really fun production to be a part of.
It's amazing.
And speaking of the production part, right? Like we were talking about this off air. There's so much that goes into it, right? The scripts and whatnot. And you kind of revamp them, update them every now and then.
Every now and again. And the actors that we bring in, everybody's going to play the role slightly differently. I mean, like we have 3 different people that play the role of Yorkie and like a bunch of different people that play the role of Benny. And you're always going to get something different. Like that's what's beautiful about our thing. You're never going to really see the same show twice. And I think that's what brings us back repeat business as well. You're going to get the core materials, but how they're delivered is going to be different from the different types of actors that we get. And it's fun to see that. And it's fun to see the interaction between the different actors when they're paired with different people delivering the lines, right? So... Anyhow, it's a full scale thing. Our actors are very well prepared. If you're familiar with Marty Gervais at all, he's a local author. He wrote a book called The Rum Runners Scrapbook, and our entire tour is based off of his book. And so all of our information is factually and historically correct. So we just present it in a very fun and entertaining way for you to digest.
Great source right there.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so have you ever thought of yourself back in Prohibition era here in Windsor, Essex County? Have you ever thought what you would be like if you encountered any of these gangsters? Have you, or honestly, no?
It's scary. Like some of the stories and some like these guys played for keeps, right? And like it was all about loyalty and like not betraying anybody. But here's an interesting story I'd like to tell. Al Capone bought a camera apparently for somebody once around the Windsor, Essex County area, and he left and went back to Chicago. And when the cops found out, they went and arrested this guy because they thought it was like maybe something illicit that was being used or illegal with the camera. Al Capone heard about that, came back to Windsor, literally told like the people in charge, the cops and that, look, I just bought him a camera. He was a family friend. There's nothing being illegal. He bailed him out of jail and got him home, right? And that camera is still in existence with that family. Like it was one of their like great granddaughters that told one of my cast members that story. So there's like tons of history here, like going back. And that's what's fascinating too, is we get so many people that come on and like, my great grandfather was a rum runner, my whatever was part of the temperance movement, like part of Prohibition. And so we get tons of stories of relatives who used to run booze and can tell you all these insane stories about hidden secret passageways or tunnels to the lakes and stuff. So
yeah, I hear about that every now and then. A house in LaSalle that has the underground tunnel.
It's really fascinating. There was this place, it was called the Edgewater Thomas Inn on Riverside Drive that was located where the Harbor House is now. And it caught fire at one point. And when the police and the fire department showed up to put the fire out, they found all of these secret compartments, all of these walls on wheels that moved and shifted. Like the owner of the place, her name was Bertha Thomas. She did everything she could to keep all of the booze hidden and secret, like from the cops. And then you had all of these strings of like speakeasies. You had A bars, you had Edgewater Thomas Inn, and then you had like the Rendezvous further down Riverside. They were all connected with a secret wire, so that when one of them got raided by the cops, they would start sending this signal on a wire, and everybody else would just all get up and they would hide their booze. So you start learning the history about all this stuff. You're like, wow, it's crazy.
That's
really
something
is.
like you know, us, right? Like the average person would see on a movie or a TV show that's, you know, mafia related, right? They speak in code. Well, there you go. There's a signal in code, literally.
It's all based in reality. Yeah.
It
all went down.
It's so cool to me, right? I'm not condoning what they do. I'm just saying I'm entertained by this stuff, and I think it's so cool and fascinating. Well, that's like that's my question for you. Could you, what would you, if you were, you know, Prohibition out on the streets and you run into a gangster, what would that interaction be like? Do you think, would you be respect, like nice to meet you or whatever, just get on your way? Or
but I'd find out how I can get in on the take. That's the truth. We tell stories like a lot of the cops were on the take, right?
Yeah,
they would make a couple $100 working, you know, a month for the province, but they were getting $20 every time just to pop, you know, turn their head.
Hey Jimmy, what do you got for me this week?
Exactly. Like some of these guys in, you know, Walkerville, we're talking, they were making millions of dollars back in the 1920s, like millions of dollars. If you look at Wilstead Manor and look at some of the mansions in Walkerville, that's all rum running money that built all these huge places. So like, it's insane. It really is when you start deep diving into it, how much money was made in this area. It's insane.
Wow. Yeah. I can't imagine, you know, 1930s, 1940s, millions of dollars, right? These families had it, right? But now you're telling me that cops were even making it back then?
Oh, yeah.
God,
you gotta come on the tour, man.
I do gotta come on the tour, but there's only one ticket left
for May.
May,
we do June. We do one tour a month, but in July and August we have 2 tours for the summertime. So the May tour sold out. May has 1 ticket. June is sold out. July, I think, only has 3 tickets left, but the August tours are still available, and also September and October. So there's those times.
That's what I was
Get in touch with me, man. I'll hook you up.
Okay,
I'll
good.
get you on the tour.
That's I'm gone July, so that works out perfect. Either August, September, or October.
Come back in the fall. Like our season runs basically May through October.
Yeah,
so I'll get you on one of the tours.
Awesome.
You got to be able to commit because it's 4 hours long, but it's
hey, if
it's
I can
enthralling.
commit to The Godfather 1 and Godfather 2 in a day, I think I can commit to this. Anybody that wants to get tickets, EncoreProductionsWindsor.com. They're $110 plus HST, which 4 hours out of your day you get food as well. It's an unbelievable thing. Over 300 TripAdvisor reviews, just like Glenn said, 95% of them. I'm reading this right now and I'm blown away, even though he said it earlier. 5-star, 395% of them 5-star. Obviously, this is something spectacular, right? If you're getting people from Vegas, Paris, all over the world, you know, what does that mean to you? Do you ever sit back at the end of the day, especially when you're done for the season, and just look at everything, look at the reviews, and go, we're doing something right here?
I think live theater is so important, like especially now with the advent of and advancements of AI and people not knowing what's real between photos and video. I think live theater as we progress is going to be more important than ever because you can't escape it. It's a real live person, right? And some of the stories I like to tell is we serve 95% of our clientele is retired senior citizens, which is a very underserved demographic, and they just love it. And they've come up to our actors a lot of times saying, I haven't laughed this hard in 20 years. This is something I need. You know, I had this one gentleman, he was over 90, and he literally came over, pulled on my coat, and he said, young man, I heard you're the owner of this tour. I need to talk to you. I'm like, yes, that's me. And he goes, I have been all over the world. I have taken every tour that you can possibly conceive of. He goes, I have never seen anything like this. He goes, when Benny, the tour guide, got on the bus, I thought, well, maybe this is going to be another blah, 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 boring story. But then he got into character, and then you play out all these scenes at all the stops. He goes, this is fantastic. He goes, I've never seen anything like this. He looks at me and goes, you got something really special here, young man. Just keep it going. Like,
phenomenal.
You can't buy that. Like, this is somebody who's been around, you know what I'm saying? Like worldwide. And he's like, I've never seen anything like this. So
well, be proud. I'm sure obviously you are, your whole cast is, your wife, obviously. I'm really looking forward to this.
Oh,
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I could sit here and talk all day. Sadly, I can't do that, but I want to thank you, Glen, so much for coming in. Is there anything before I let you go that you want to add to all our listeners out there?
I want to just give a big thanks to the cast and crew who have just been phenomenal. I'd like to send a big thank you out to my business partner, Lynn Godfroy, who's been amazing, and especially to my wife, who has just been my partner in crime, and we all decided to just jump in and take on this crazy adventure, and it's been quite the whirlwind. But as always, I always like thanking my cast for being along for the journey, and man, we're just getting started. Yeah. I'm going to leave it at that. We're just getting started. We got so much planned.
I love it. Well, Glen Bacarro, everybody. Glen, thank you so much for joining me today
here
on
much.
the Berg. Appreciate it. Spencer Duby here on the Midday Music and More show.